Ladies and gentlemen, what separates the dreamers from the doers? What separates those who rise to the top from those who languish in mediocrity? The answer is accountability. And let me tell you, most people wouldn't recognize accountability if it smacked them in the face. Accountability starts with brutal honesty. Stop lying to yourself. Stop making excuses for why you haven't achieved what you set out to do. It's not your boss's fault. It's not your family's fault. It's not the economy or the government. The mirror doesn't lie. The person staring back at you is the one responsible for your results or lack thereof. Own it. Because until you admit where you've fallen short, you can't begin to fix it. But here's the thing, accountability isn't about words. Talk is cheap. Promises are meaningless unless backed by action. Results are all that matter. You want to know if you're accountable? Check your scoreboard. Your bank account, your health, your relationships, they don't lie. Are they where you want them to be? If not, stop whining and start working. Every step forward, every inch of progress is proof of accountability in action. Now let's talk about the company you keep. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Surround yourself with people who demand more from you. Find mentors who don't coddle you but challenge you. Find peers who push you to compete, to grow, to level up. Accountability isn't just a solo act, it's a team sport. The right people will make you stronger. The wrong ones will let you stay weak. Accountability also builds mental toughness. It's not easy to admit you've screwed up. It's not easy to take ownership of your mistakes. But every time you do, you get stronger. Every time you face the music, instead of running away, you become more resilient. And that discipline, the ability to show up and deliver no matter what, turns weakness into strength, fear into confidence, and failure into success. And let's not forget the rewards. Accountability isn't just about doing what's right, it's about unlocking what's possible. When you hold yourself accountable, you grow in ways you never imagined. You achieve things you thought were out of reach. And perhaps most importantly, you gain the respect that only comes from living up to your potential, respect from others and respect for yourself. So I challenge you to take a hard look at your life. Where have you been making excuses? Where have you been falling short? And most importantly, what are you going to do about it? Because accountability isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily commitment to being the best version of yourself. Get up, take responsibility, and take action. Success waits for no one. It's time to own your life. Accountability begins with a foundation that most people avoid like the plague: brutal honesty. It's not a comfortable process. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It's raw, it's unfiltered, and it's often painful. But the truth is, unless you are willing to confront yourself in the mirror and call out your own excuses, you will never rise above mediocrity. Let's face it, we're all experts at justifying our shortcomings. We tell ourselves stories to protect our egos. I didn't have enough time, the opportunity wasn't right. It's just bad luck, you know what that is? It's a cop-out. It's a lie dressed up to make you feel better about staying exactly where you are. The reality is simple. If you're not where you want to be in life, it's not because of external factors, it's because of you. And that realization, that's the first step toward true accountability. Imagine what would happen if for just one day, you stopped blaming the world for your problems and started looking inward. What if, instead of pointing fingers, you raised your hand and said, "It's on me"? That kind of honesty is liberating. It shatters the illusions you've built around yourself. It forces you to see things as they are, not as you wish they were. And while it may feel like a punch in the gut, it's the only way to begin real growth. Brutal honesty isn't just about admitting your failures, it's about dissecting them. Why did you fail? What choices did you make or avoid that led to this outcome? Were you lazy? Did you lack discipline? Did you let fear control your actions? These questions aren't meant to beat you down. They're meant to wake you up. They're meant to force you to confront the gap between who you are and who you could be. Let me be clear, this kind of self-reflection takes guts. It's not easy to strip away the facade and face your weaknesses head on. Most people never do it. Most people would rather live in denial, blaming circumstances, other people, or some imaginary obstacle for their lack of progress. But not you. If you're serious about accountability, if you're serious about success, you must develop the courage to call yourself out. The beauty of brutal honesty is that it's a catalyst for change. Once you've stripped away the lies and excuses, you're left with the truth, and the truth is a powerful thing. It shows you exactly where you stand and what needs to be done. It gives you clarity, focus, and a sense of purpose. But more importantly, it gives you control. Because the moment you stop lying to yourself is the moment you start taking ownership of your life. So here's the question: are you ready to face the truth? Are you ready to stop hiding behind excuses and start holding yourself accountable? It's not an easy path, but it's the only one worth taking. Brutal honesty is where it all begins. And from that place of truth, you can build a life that is bold, fearless, and unapologetically yours. Let me tell you something you might not want to hear. Words are worthless. Promises, plans, goals, all of it means absolutely nothing without action. Accountability doesn't care about how eloquently you talk about what you're going to do. It cares about results. It cares about the evidence, the tangible proof that you're not just another person blowing hot air, but someone who delivers. Think about it. How many times have you heard people declare their intentions? I'm going to start that business. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to be more disciplined. And yet, 6 months later, they're still stuck in the same place, spinning the same tired narrative. Why? Because they thought words were enough. They thought that the act of saying it somehow made it real. But life doesn't work that way. Life rewards those who take action, not those who merely talk about it. Action is where accountability lives. It's in the grind, in the effort, in the sacrifices you make when no one else is watching. It's in the extra hour you put in after everyone else has gone home. It's in the discipline to do the hard things, the boring things, the uncomfortable things, because you know they are what separates success from failure. Action doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment or the right conditions. It moves forward regardless of the obstacles. You see, accountability is a mirror that reflects the truth about your effort. You can't hide from it. You can't fake it. If you're not putting in the work, the results or lack thereof will expose you. It's that simple. And yes, it's a harsh reality, but it's also the most liberating truth you'll ever embrace. Because once you understand that action is the only currency that matters, you stop wasting time on excuses and start focusing on execution. Every action you take builds momentum. Every small victory adds to your confidence. And with enough consistent action, even the biggest goals become attainable. But you have to start. You have to take that first step, no matter how small, and then keep going. Because accountability isn't about doing one big thing once. It's about doing the right things consistently, over and over again, until they add up to something extraordinary. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is full of people who are all talk and no action. Don't be one of them. Be the person who shows up, who works hard, who follows through. Be the person who lets results speak louder than words ever could. Because in the end, it's not what you say that defines you, it's what you do. Surrounding yourself with accountability partners is one of the most transformative choices you can make on your journey to success. Let's get one thing straight: you cannot achieve greatness alone. The lone wolf mentality is a myth. Even the most self-made individuals had people in their corner who pushed them, challenged them, and refused to let them settle for mediocrity. If you think you can do it all by yourself, you're setting yourself up for failure. The truth is, the people you surround yourself with will either elevate you or anchor you. Think about it. If you spend your time with people who tolerate excuses, you'll start tolerating them too. If you're constantly around individuals who are content with average, their complacency will rub off on you. But when you align yourself with people who demand excellence, something remarkable happens. You rise to meet their standards. You start thinking bigger, working harder, and expecting more from yourself. Accountability partners aren't just there to pat you on the back or cheer you on when things are going well. They're there to call you out when you're slacking. They're the ones who won't let you get away with excuses, no matter how convincing you think they sound. They hold up a mirror and make you confront the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And let me tell you, that kind of honesty isn't always comfortable. In fact, it's downright painful at times. But that discomfort is exactly what you need to grow. Now, finding the right people is key. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table. Look for those who are ahead of you, people who have walked the path you're trying to navigate and who have the results to back it up. These individuals aren't just going to teach you what works, they're going to show you what's possible. When you see someone achieving at a level you aspire to, it shifts your mindset. Suddenly, your excuses lose their power and your limitations start to crumble. But it's not just about mentors. Peers can be just as powerful. Surround yourself with individuals who are as hungry as you are, people who are chasing their own big dreams and pushing themselves to new heights. There's a certain magic in being part of a group where everyone is striving for more. It creates a sense of competition, not the cutthroat kind, but the kind that motivates you to bring your best to the table every single day. And let's not forget, accountability goes both ways. Being in a circle of high performers isn't just about what you can take, it's about what you can give. When you show up for others, when you push them to do better, you reinforce your own commitment to excellence. It's a symbiotic relationship. By holding others accountable, you deepen your own discipline and resolve. The bottom line is this: if you want to be the best, you need to surround yourself with the best. Success doesn't happen in isolation. It's forged in the fires of accountability, fueled by the energy of those who refuse to let you settle for less. The right accountability partners will push you to places you didn't think you could reach and make you realize you're capable of far more than you ever imagined. Accountability builds mental toughness because it forces you to confront the truth, and the truth is rarely comfortable. Most people spend their lives avoiding it, sugarcoating their failures or blaming circumstances beyond their control. But when you hold yourself accountable, there's no room for excuses. You stand face to face with your shortcomings, and in that moment you make a choice: either retreat into the shadows of denial or step into the light of growth. The latter path isn't easy, but it's where transformation begins. When you take responsibility for everything in your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, you stop being a victim of your circumstances. You recognize that while you can't control what happens to you, you can always control how you respond. This shift in mindset doesn't just change how you approach challenges, it hardens your resolve. Each time you accept responsibility, no matter how painful or inconvenient, you become stronger. You stop running from your problems and start tackling them head on. That resilience becomes a cornerstone of your character, enabling you to face life's toughest battles with grit and determination. Holding yourself accountable means accepting that failure is part of the process. When you fall short, it's not the end of the world, it's an opportunity to learn. But accountability doesn't let you wallow in self-pity or make excuses. Instead, it demands that you analyze what went wrong, take ownership of your mistakes, and commit to doing better. This practice of honest self-reflection is a powerful teacher. It forces you to confront your fears, your weaknesses, and your blind spots. And as you work through those challenges, you become more confident and capable knowing that you have what it takes to rise again, no matter how many times you fall. Accountability also teaches you discipline, and discipline is the foundation of mental toughness. It's easy to show up when things are going well, but true strength is built in the moments when you don't feel like it. When you're tired, discouraged, or overwhelmed, accountability pushes you to keep going. It reminds you of the commitments you've made to yourself and others, and it holds you to a standard that doesn't waver based on how you feel. Each time you push through the discomfort, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. You develop the mental fortitude to keep moving forward, even when the path is steep and the rewards seem distant. Accountability is a process of refinement. It strips away the excuses, the distractions, and the doubts, leaving behind a version of yourself that is sharper, stronger, and more focused. It doesn't just prepare you for life's challenges, it transforms you into someone who thrives on them. By embracing accountability, you're not just building a stronger mind, you're forging an unbreakable spirit. That's the power of taking full ownership of your life. When you fully embrace accountability, the rewards are unmatched. Let me tell you, there's no feeling more powerful than standing tall knowing you've taken full responsibility for everything in your life. It's not about making excuses, pointing fingers, or blaming circumstances. It's about looking at where you are, looking at what you've achieved, and understanding that it's all on you, every success, every failure, every lesson learned along the way. The moment you take ownership of your actions, you free yourself from the weight of victimhood. You stop being at the mercy of outside forces and start becoming the master of your destiny. Accountability is the key that unlocks your full potential. It's like the difference between someone who drifts through life, hoping things will just work out, and someone who takes command and directs their own path. With accountability comes growth, real, tangible, powerful growth. It doesn't matter how many times you fail, how many times you fall short. The fact that you're accountable means you will rise again, smarter, stronger, and more determined. Growth isn't about never making mistakes. It's about having the guts to face them head on, to learn from them, and to never repeat them. When you're accountable, you own your growth process. You're in the driver's seat. The path may be difficult, but you're the one holding the wheel. And that gives you a sense of purpose that cannot be found anywhere else. One of the greatest rewards of accountability is that it leads to true self-respect. If you want others to respect you, start by respecting yourself. And how do you do that? By holding yourself accountable. There's something incredibly empowering about knowing that you did what you said you would do, even when no one was watching. That is the mark of integrity. It's not just about doing things the right way when it's convenient. It's about doing them consistently, day in and day out, even when it's tough, even when it's inconvenient, even when it hurts. When you live this way, you gain the confidence to take on bigger challenges because you trust yourself and your ability to deliver. And that confidence radiates, attracting the right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances into your life. Accountability also brings clarity. When you stop making excuses and take ownership of your actions, you begin to see things for what they truly are. You stop lying to yourself and start living in reality. This clarity is liberating. You can look at your goals and see what's working, see what's not, and adjust accordingly. It's like cleaning your glasses after they've been fogged up. You can suddenly see everything in sharp detail, and that vision empowers you to move forward with precision. You no longer waste time wondering what went wrong or feeling sorry for yourself. Instead, you take the steps necessary to fix it, to improve it, and to keep moving toward your goal. And let's not forget the impact accountability has on your relationships. People respect and trust those who hold themselves accountable. When you own your actions, you become someone others can depend on. Trust is built on accountability. It's simple. When you say you'll do something, you do it. No excuses, no delays. When you're accountable, people know they can count on you, and that makes you a powerful force in both your personal and professional life. It creates a ripple effect that leads to stronger, more fulfilling connections with others. It draws people to you who want to work with you, who want to support you, and who want to be part of your success. Perhaps the greatest reward of all, however, is the feeling of satisfaction that comes from achieving what you set out to do. You want to experience success on a level that leaves you feeling fulfilled? And then own it. Own the process. Own the setbacks. Own the victories. When you look back and see how far you've come, you won't be able to deny that it was your own blood, sweat, and tears that got you there. The satisfaction of accomplishing your goals, knowing you stayed true to yourself and your commitments, is a reward that no amount of money or fame can replicate. It's the satisfaction of being able to look at the work you've done, the life you've created, and saying, I did this, I am responsible for my success. When you embrace accountability, you're not just changing your life, you're transforming the world around you. You're setting an example for others to follow, raising the bar for those who watch you, and becoming a living testament to the power of taking responsibility. The rewards are unmatched because there is no greater power than knowing you control your destiny. It's all in your hands. The choices you make today will determine the life you live tomorrow. And when you hold yourself accountable, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Accountability is the cornerstone of success. It's the raw, unflinching truth that drives real, lasting change. If you want to be more than ordinary, if you want to live a life that stands out, then you have to step up and take ownership of every decision, every action, and every outcome. No more excuses, no more blaming others, and no more hiding behind circumstances. The power is yours to claim, and it starts with taking responsibility for where you are and where you're headed. Remember, accountability doesn't just shape your results, it shapes who you become. It molds your character, fortifies your resolve, and pushes you beyond what you thought was possible. So I challenge you to make accountability a daily practice, to live by it, breathe it, and demand it of yourself. Because when you do, you'll find that the rewards you reap are greater than anything you could have ever imagined. Your future is in your hands. Take accountability. Go make it extraordinary.